There is something about Pottery Barn that looks, feels just like home. Warm, inviting, and effortlessly beautiful. But today, in today's video, I'm going to recreate those iconic Pottery Barn vibes with budget-friendly fabrics and a whole lot of creativity. Think cozy textures and classic prints and signature elegance. So join me today for the fraction of a cost and let's get started. So let's get started now on our first project. This one is $149 at Pottery Barn. Now, I love the way this looked, and I thought that I can do this. So I went to the thrift store and I found this. Now, this was only $2. As you can see, I already started painting it, but I realized the green that I attempted was a little bit too dark. So I decided I needed to use another green for this because it wasn't the correct one. So I went ahead and repainted it in the correct green. Once I done that, I gave it a good coat, making sure that every area was covered in the correct green because I looked at the picture of the original piece from Pottery Barn and just to make sure that it was correct. So I let it dry in the sun. Once I was finished with that, I decided then it's time to add the gold accents. And this is where I think it started to transform. So I chose some acrylic paint, which was in gold, and I also used some rub and buff, and I put them together, and I just dotted each of them together because I wanted to get that harmonious gold. Again, looking at the original piece to ensure that I know what I was doing. So I just free-handedly painted it across using a very small brush to get that small effect of the gold going right around. Now I had to look very carefully because it still had some gold accents around the vase in different areas. I also went ahead and gold accent the handles just to ensure that I got it as close as possible. So I constantly checked the original piece to ensure it looked as closely as possible. I continued doing that and think I felt it looked quite close. Once I was happy with it, I took it outside and I sprayed some gloss spray just to give it that shine like the original piece. And here is what it looks like. So here is a reminder of the original one, which is $149, and my one, which cost only $2. Let me know what you think of it in the description box down below. Can't wait to hear your feedback. Let's move on to dupe number 2. I really love this rustic nature of this indigo rustic bowl, and I thought I can do this quite easily. This cost $99. So I went to the thrift store and I decided I can get one for 50 cents. So I bought this bowl, took it home, gave it a wash, and I also sanded it down because I wanted to add some texture to it. Now, once you have roughed it up a little bit, what you need to do is wipe it away just to ensure any residue is no longer there. That makes a huge difference with the actual project itself. So once I've done that, I took it outside and I spray painted it matte black. Okay, let it dry, then brought it back inside to continue with the project. So once it was dried and it was not wet at all, make sure it's completely dry. I then decided to use this blue indigo acrylic paint, and I started to use it right into the bowl. Now, I painted it all over because I wanted to get that dark, consistent color again, making sure to look at the original piece to ensure it looks very much like it. So far, it was going good. But what I noticed is I could not really see that blue coming through the black. Yes, I think I needed that black foundation to get started. However, I continued making that swirly motion going around the bowl because I wanted to have that same sort of pattern that the original piece had. Now, what I decided to do, I thought if I can simply add some baking soda into the bowl as it is to give it some texture. Now, normally I probably wouldn't do this. I would probably just simply add the baking soda into the paint itself in the bowl and mix it together. But I wanted it to lighten the color, and I also wanted that texture right on top of the bowl as well. So I proceeded to do that. And that I think really was a game changer with how it actually came out. I also then decided that the best thing to do was to use a larger sponge because the sponge I was using here was a bit small and I couldn't get a continuous motion going all the way around with it. So I continued to do that. I did change the sponge. Next, I thought it's time to lighten up this paint. So I got some white acrylic and I just added a drop because I wanted to get the same color as the original piece. And then added some more of that blue indigo as well and mix it all up. And I did the same emotion again, going backwards and forth. And continued to add as well some of that baking soda so I can get that texture. And I dotted it around and I just here playing with it to ensure the color is correct. Again, keep checking that the original piece, it looks the same thing. So again, make that motion going all the way around because I wanted to dry in that particular way. And I continued also to add some more of that baking soda on top of it. Here I am now just finishing up the base all around it. Did the same exact technique. Put it outside to dry once it was ready. What I also did is I got some of my terracotta acrylic paint and I proceeded to do the same thing around the rim. Remember, the original piece had a sort of a terracotta feel to it. What I did, rather than add it just to the rim, I went slightly over the rim so that it can look a little bit of the same size, okay? Because the rim of the bowl here is quite thin. So I just went a little bit beyond it, say about a quarter inch, and that way it allowed it to look like the rim itself was thickened and it was actually made from clay. I love the way how this turned out. It really is a fraction of the cost, this particular one. This bowl actually only cost 50 cents. So let's see how it turned out. And again, I'm going to show you a reminder of what the original piece looks like. Now, here is the next dupe. This one is a lumbar pillow, a throw pillow, and this one costs $60 at Pottery Barn. Now we can dupe this for a lot less and a fraction of the cost. Let me show you how. All right. So what I did, I picked up some kitchen towels from TK Maxx. Now they cost $15 for five. They were 100% cotton and they actually came from India. They had this waffle texture to it, which is really lovely. So here I am sewing on a zip to it, and I'm just telling you here that you need to do a top stitch. Okay. Now to sew a zip on, you can look at any YouTube video and I will show you how to add a zip. Now, once I added the zip and I put the zip and the fabric here, I'm going to relate to it as front sides together, and I'm going to do a top stitch. The top stitch will enable the actual fabric to lay close enough to the zip heave, avoiding it so that when you sew it together, both fabrics, that is, it's going to look a lot more neater rather than just seeing the zip pull at the front. So I'm going to continue to do that. Once I have done the top stitch on this particular one, I'm then going to proceed to lay the other part of the zip front sides together so that the both of them will be on the zip itself. Okay. Now, what you need to do now is to lay them front sides together as I just mentioned. So you're going to pin it so that it doesn't move. Again, we're using it front sides together, meaning we're adding the pretty sides, and we're going to continue and do the same motion. So stitching the zip down to the other side of the fabric, and then we're going to do the top stitch as I just mentioned. Now, what I need to mention is that I went ahead and made some tassels to mine because I love adding tassels to my throw pillows. They bring another texture and variety and visual appeal to the actual space that you're placing it in. So once you've done that, all you need to do really is continue and do the top stitch. This is what I'm explaining to you here. Now, pinning also makes sure that it does not move. And we're going to do a top stitch just as I mentioned before. Now, if you want me to teach you how to make tassels, I actually use wool actually to do this. So just let me know in the description box down below. I didn't want to make the video too long. So if you'd like to know how to make the tassels, just let me know in the description box and I'll make a video just for it. Now, once I've made the tassels and I actually going to sandwich it in between because all I want is just the end result there of the tassel to be hanging on the corners. The objective here is to get the tassels in all four corners, and we're simply going to sew around it, ensuring that okay, it is hanging on nicely and stitched down really tightly to every four corner. Now, one of the things you need to be mindful of is that you cannot put it too close because otherwise you wouldn't have enough room to get it to go all the way around. So once you've added your tassels, you just need to continue sewing where the zips stop, and basically just sewing into a square or a rectangle to ensure that everything is encapsulated. As you can see, this area is already done, and all I need to do to this side here is to bring the tassels in. Okay, making sure it's tucked in properly and none of it is hanging out, and then continue to do the same straight stitch all the way around to ensure everything's together. One of the things you need to be reminded of is that you need to leave your zipper open so that you can pull it right side out. So remember, you can see the wrong side here of the tea towels. Okay, so that's important. If you don't do that, what will happen? You may need to fidget quite a lot to get the zip open, okay? Or you may have to remove some of the threading of the stitching you just did. So just leave a little opening where the zips are so that way you can continue to just pull it right side out. And I'm going to show you this at the moment. So there is a zip there. As you can see, it's halfway open there, and it's very important to remember to do that. So all you need to do is leave it open before you actually stitch, so then you can simply put your hand in and pull it right side out. Now here's a reminder of the Pottery Barn, which costs $60 for one. I went ahead and made two throw pillows, lumbar pillows, and this only cost me $30 for two. And I still had a tea towel left over to use in the kitchen. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I just love the way how this looks. It's so soft because remember, it's made from 100% cotton. The tassels came out really lovely. It adds another layer of texture and it's just so visually appealing. This only costs $30 to make two. What a what a fraction of the cost this is. So if you love making throw pillows or if you've never made one before, I would definitely encourage you to try this. And the pillow I actually use, I bought a pillow that was not stiff. It was really soft but still had structure so I can give it that pop. Let me know what you think about it in the description box down below.
When the nights get slow, but then disappear when the highs get low. I ain't your maybe. Tell me what it is, 'cause I'm way too grown to be messing with a love like this. I give you love, but you ration yours. But you ration.
Now, for my last project here, I have these chairs that I've been longing to change the covers. So it's six in total, and I have two cover chairs and four of the ordinary chairs around the table. I have never done this before. This is the first time. So here we go and see what it actually came out like. Now, I actually bought some fabric for this particular project. It has a really nice dimpling effect for it. And I thought it would be so much more cheaper to do it myself rather than to hire someone to reupholster them. So I got myself a staple gun and here I am. So I'm going to staple all four edges. Now I didn't remove the old cover because I thought that was just fine. It'll give it more cushion. So I stapled all four areas. And what I did is to make a mitered corner to get the pleats flat. Now, I think the easiest way to think about this is to do not have the pleats showing at the edge of the seat. So you can maneuver and fold it however you like, as long as the pleats are not showing at the front. Once you're happy with it and it's quite smooth, you can then start to staple. I would definitely say a battery operated stapler is the secret. If you use a manual one, you will be aching. So I just give you that tip right now. So continue to staple, pulling it firm all the time. Don't over pull it. Don't pull it so hard that it may shift, but just keep it taut because you want the fabric to lay flat and firm. Now, once I did all of that, I then removed some of the excess fabric around the seat itself because that would just lead to bulk and it wouldn't sit flat back into the frame of the chair itself. This didn't take long at all. It was such a joy to do this. It really revamped the area and the dining space, and it just looks so much more beautiful. I added the back. Now, let me show you the outcome of everything.
Bring me into golden sunlight. If I'm going with you, I know we'll
Well,
get
everyone, this brings us to the end of today's video. Let me know in the description box down below which was your favorite dupe. Can't wait to hear from you. Like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.
like a wildfire. Never the same. Whenever you calling my name, I'm taking my sweet time. Hey, whatever the plan.